All right, financial analyst Olusegun Elemo joins us now on Skype to bring perspectives to this. Olusegun, good morning. It's good to have you join us right now. Nigeria is taking every measure to ensure that they contain the coronavirus by closing the borders amidst other measures. How apt do you think this is? All right, Shegun Elemo, if you can hear me, I was asking that closing the border is one measure Nigeria is taking. How apt do you think this is?
Thank you for having me, and good morning to our viewers out there. I think it's for so many people. I think even the closure of the border is coming a bit late. You recall that the federal government had closed the land borders due to the influx of smugglers at the time, and that particular policy has now fused into this new policy around curbing the spread of coronavirus. But I think for me, I think the borders, both the air borders, the sea borders, the land borders, all of those borders should have been shut earlier than now. But it's better late than never. What is important now is that we get our acts right and we begin to implement those measures to keep people at home. As you can see, even all of those countries that have better infrastructure than Nigeria are now seeing that it's not much about the virus, but how people react to the virus. So it's important for us to keep people at home if it's not necessary to go out, and then to also keep people away from the country. Because as you can see, this is an imported virus. It's coming from abroad. So as much as we try to ensure domestic interventions, we also need to keep people away who are likely to bring in the virus away from the country at this time.
All right, some have said that as drastic as this measure might seem, the porosity of the borders might undermine its purpose.
Exactly. This is one of the issues that we've always raised around the security of the borders and how secure the borders are. Yes, we're going to have challenges as to whether our security agencies can effectively man the borders and ensure that people don't come in. But we'll see how best we're able to carry out that. We see how much of work the security agencies can do with regards to that. But certainly there will be issues as to the porosity of the border and whether we can effectively stop people from coming in. But we'll get to see all of that in the days ahead, I think.
All right, Olusegun, the point that a lot of people have said that the fear and the anxiety this is creating on the economy and the society is even worse than the virus itself. I wonder what you make of that, because this is going to impact the way people react to demand, supply, and all of those economic indices that make the society work.
No, certainly this is changing lots of things in relation to how we live. Recall that the federal government had put the crude oil benchmark, the crude oil price in the 2020 budget at $57. Now we're having a case where the the crude itself is now selling below $25 per barrel. That is changing lots of things. About 60% of government revenue itself is going away. So it's going to change a lot of things. And at individual level, it's going to change a lot of things in terms of the economics of individual. So both micro and macro now, everything is changing for everybody. And then you have state governments now that are introducing new policies of shutting down markets. So all of those things is going to. I mean, if I tell you that I myself, I'm not afraid. I think I'll be lying to you, but I think we do not need to react to this with panic. We just need to ensure that we are confident within ourselves and they help our health institutions and government supporting them as citizens to get through all of this. But they also need to provide leadership at this time. It's going to be challenging for everybody, both at the individual level and at the country at large.
All right. Olusegun Elemo, thank you very much for talking to us on TVC. Right now, joining us, a financial analyst, Olusegun Elemo, joining us via Skype. Now, Segun, good morning. It's good to have you join us right now. A lot of people are very concerned with the rising number of those infected with coronavirus. But the fear is more on the economy even than the virus itself, as to how things are going to be with the shutdown here and there, the air, the land, water. Everywhere is on lockdown one way or the other, especially it varies from country to country. Now, talk to us basically. Some analysts have said that many countries will be heading for recession, or we're heading towards recession. What are you seeing?
From this standpoint, it's not all gloomy. You must have heard what the central bank governor said yesterday in providing updates to how the coronavirus is affecting the Nigerian economy. As you know, there's drop in demand for crude right now across the world, and that's solely one product that Nigeria depends on to keep the economy going. So in that light, certainly there will be some kind of expectation around whether the economy will go into recession. But I think the IMF already mentioned that some economies might go into recession with as a result of the effect of the COVID-19. But whether the Nigerian economy has measures in place to cushion the effect of the negative impact of the COVID-19 is one other issue entirely. I'm aware that the central bank has introduced some interventions to cushion the effect, whether from the private sector angle or whether with regards to public finance. There are monetary policies that the central bank now is putting in place to ensure that even if we go into recession, the shock will be minimal on the lives of the people. But certainly, it's not a gloomy situation right now.
All right, we see that this pandemic is reshaping cultures, how we live, reshaping jobs. People are now working from home. How will this reshape businesses? What options are open there to business owners who have found themselves in the situation where the borders are shut?
Yes, certainly. We just have to change with the changing environment. A lot of things have changed in the last couple of weeks, and people culture to work also have to change. So it means that if you've always done your businesses, from a human contact perspective, you now have to recreate a new model that allows you to do business digitally. I'm aware that countries like the United Arab Emirates are already ensuring that all private businesses now go online and are able to do business via digital platforms. Exactly the same for Nigeria. You recall that many state governors now, state governments, have put policies in place to limit, the numbers of people that now come out, for business-related activities. So certainly, businesses, private sector, even public sector now have to now, think, around a way of carrying out their businesses. But another issue is also whether there is infrastructure to support that kind of new culture. Infrastructure such as electricity, such as internet penetration, and all of that. So how many people have access to all of these facilities to be able to have seamless business transactions and business activities?
All right, we have to leave it here now. Olusegun Elemo, thank you so much for talking to us.